Are you living your best life as a salesperson or entrepreneur? Or do you find you're working all the time on this hamster wheel of life while stressed out and not financially free, which is the exact opposite of what you had signed up for, especially now in this global pandemic? If this is you, you are not alone. I found myself there in 2008 when I lost everything, including my health, and had to pivot working from home for the first time with no money. I rebuilt my life from scratch, juggling motherhood and marriage to get my life back and be recession and pandemic proof today. Now we live laptop lifestyles with our kids and are poised to travel the world together. How did we do it? Join me as I share my health and wealth and wisdom secrets, tips, tools, and expert interviews to equip you to be recession proof and live your best life. My name is Lois Kofi, and this is Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. Hey, how are you? All right. Well, this is Lois Kofi. I have decided to do my monologue a little bit later in the week than I normally do. This is another episode of Healthy and Wealthy and Wise, and I'm super excited because I'm talking about a topic that's really near and dear to my heart for the last 13 years. However, this pandemic has really changed my perspective on working from home. So I had put out a question earlier today on, what are you most struggling with on working from home? And there was a lot of different responses, everything from text messaging, kids and spouses and other people interrupting, all of the things. And I am hoping that you guys can still see me and hear me. It looks like my video is not working. So for those of you who are tuning in live, I apologize for that interruption. Can you guys still see me? All right, so it's all good. Somehow my camera got unplugged for those you are watching this live, so I apologize for that. But anyway, I wanted to talk today about what is going on in the world with working from home. So working from home has been something that I've done for 13 years, and it's not natural for a lot of people. You were used to going to an office, you were used to having maybe a desk where you're completely um, part of my issue right now. I just had a technology snafu, and it's part of it is because I'm in the same situation as you guys are. Like I had to figure out how to have an office from home. I had to figure out how to set and maintain these boundaries. So there was an example of, hey, that was real live TV. My webcam failed me, right? So most of you guys will be listening to this on audio, so that's perfect. But I have 3 tips for you guys today. 3 tips on how to start, because as Zig Ziglar and those guys always said, you don't have to be great to start. However, you do have to start to be great, right? So today we're going to be talking about my 3 quick tips, because I always like to keep these episodes, my monologues, to 15 minutes. And, oh, by the way, on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I have an amazing guest. His name is Lucas Root. He'll be tuning in live. Hopefully I won't have any technical issues like I did today. He'll be tuning in live to my Facebook community and talking about how to work from home with excellence. And through that process, he was like me. He traveled a lot. I actually was traveling a ton before COVID hit. And he's been having major success, so much so that he actually created a work from home course. So if you can tune in on Friday, I'll just put that out there. Tune in on Friday and listen to one of the masters of, having to figure it out, having to pivot, and having to figure out how to work from home with excellence. So that's the theme of today. 3 tips on how to work from home from excellence. Number 1, and I asked this question today inside of my Facebook group. So if you're not already in the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise Facebook group, please join us so your voice gets heard. The first number 1 is setting healthy boundaries. Set healthy boundaries. Now, for everyone, that is going to be different. What does that look like for you? What does setting healthy boundaries look like for you? Now, in our case, we've had to set up different office spaces. We've had to go over daily schedules and routines that are different and saying, hey, this is my schedule today. I'm doing this during this time. You can't interrupt my time. Like right now, I'm recording this podcast broadcast. I am choosing to do it live. And so they know they've got to keep it quiet and stay out of my space, right? So have you been setting boundaries and communicating those boundaries? So whether that is like in my case, I find texting also really distracting. So I have phone apps where I check in regularly every 2 to 3 hours and say, hey, how can I support you as my client? How can I support you as my friend? Because I have homeschooling, I have 4 businesses, I have a marriage, I have my own mental health and sanity, as you guys have known. It's been a very stressful, kind of tragic year for me as well, personally. So I guard my own sanity as much as I possibly can, right? I don't watch the news as much as I possibly can. I don't engage a ton on Facebook, even though, yes, I have a Facebook community and you're all invited to join. You're all invited, and all of you are invited to join and be a part of my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise Facebook community, because that's where it's positive, supported. You don't have to see the political post or, you know, the end of times post or whatever it is that doesn't serve you, right? So what are your healthy boundaries? That's tip number one. And I encourage you to write this down, because someone was talking about text messaging today, when I asked, what do you guys struggle with the most in working from home? And, there's a lot of people that texting, even text campaigns, are becoming much, much more popular, right? I get way more text messages from businesses now than ever before. I never got text messages from businesses really before 2020. So if people, they make their emergency your emergency, same thing with your family. If you set healthy boundaries and you say from 8 to 10, I'm doing my lead generation or my whatever your business is, whatever your focuses are, then from 10 to 12, maybe it's homeschooling, right? Maybe you turn your phone off during that time. What are your boundaries? Because here's the thing. If you don't set boundaries, it's like you telling the universe, hey, whatever happens, happens, right? And that's not, in my world, that's not productivity. I love productivity. So, again, number one, setting those healthy boundaries. Are you going to check your email 5 times a day, or are you going to check it twice? Are you going to make outbound phone calls for an hour and then return phone calls? Are you going to tell your spouse and your kids, hey, I'm doing this for 3 hours. I really need your support. That's part of healthy boundaries, is also communication. I could have put that as a separate one, but responsibility is on you to set those healthy boundaries. The responsibility relies on you, because people can't read your mind, right? And when I get to tip number 3, that'll bring this all full circle. But reflection every day on, was I productive today? And if not, what caused me to not? And I would venture a guess that the number one reason you aren't productive is because you haven't set the healthy boundaries. So figure out what those are. Communication methodologies, how much you are in Facebook, how much you are, checking email, all of the things, right? So setting those healthy boundaries, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, this is a throwback to my health and fitness career, is move your body. And if you can, set a goal with that. So, what that looks like is a variety of things based on what I saw from people. So, moving your body, if you are able to sit on a stability ball, that's a phenomenal way to work from home. Stability ball engages your core, burns calories while you're sitting there, right? And it actually stimulates the brain differently. It stimulates the core, which is really like it houses your second brain, your gut brain, and it stimulates you differently. And it actually, I think, in my experience as both a health and fitness person and as someone who worked from home, it also gets the creative energy going. If you wanted to, you can add push-ups, you can add crunches to your daily routine because it's working on your subconscious mind while you're sitting on the stability ball. So like every hour, set a timer on your phone or Alexa, Amazon, whatever, and go and walk around. Wow, I said the name and now Alexa's talking to me. So anyway, at the end of the day, set an alarm and go for a walk. That was great. That was awesome. That was real time. This is real time stuff. So set an alarm, go for a walk, just even if it's around your house, up and down the stairs, going outside, taking a deep breath gives you perspective. Going out in nature, I mean, you might be in Minnesota or in other parts of the world where there's snow. Great. Go out and make a snowball. Like, whatever. Getting a change of scenery helps you with your perspective as well. So that's tip number 2. As someone was talking in my question when I asked about this, someone was asking about posture. That's the other thing I like about a stability ball because it forces you to sit up more as opposed to hunched over, right? You're sitting up taller. And if you do the tip that I gave you, every hour on the hour, you do something, whether it's jumping jacks or push-ups with the stability ball or sit-ups with the stability ball. It's a different way to stimulate your brain. Okay. And I encourage you to set a goal of movement, even if it's the old school, I call it old school, maybe new school to you, 10,000 steps. Getting that body, the emotion is about moving energy through. That's what emotion means at the root of it. So energy in motion. You can't just sit on your butt for 8 hours a day, right? So that's number 2, movement, focusing on your posture, getting breathing, moving the body so you can get that stress out no matter what is going on. And then, of course, probably the one that wraps this up most beautifully is give yourself and others, this is something I'm working on every day, give yourself and others grace, right? So we all are growing through this together. We're not just going through this together, right? We're growing through this together. No one is alone in this, right? Everyone, that's kind of I don't know if you want to call it bittersweet symphony of life. We're all growing through this together at the same time. So other people may be struggling financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever the case may be, their business, it's down. Give yourself and others grace. We all are responding or reacting in different ways. There may be more arguments. There may be more judgments. There may be more even being hard on yourself because, oh my gosh, I know better than this. Why am I not making more money? Or why am I not being kinder to others and myself? I struggle with that one, being transparent with you. So just reminding you that we're all in this together and give yourself and others grace. If someone misses a call, let it go. Surrender to the process. If your income isn't growing as fast as you think it should, remember most sales cycles in a normal universe are 60 days, 90 days, right? But when now you're throwing in all of the things, digital marketing, learning new platforms, email campaigns, all of the stuff, right? Give yourself and others grace. I would also add in there, that is creating patience, right? Finding ways to be patient in these crazy times. That's a whole nother seminar, another podcast. So I really, really hope I saw a lot of your comments on my post today. So thank you so much for giving me some inspiration. That's what this community is all about, guys. All about. If you saw value in this, please share this with your Facebook community or others. If you would like to see future episodes emailed to you, sign up at my healthyandwealthyandwise.com and I will send these out to you. Or you could just go to iTunes and subscribe to Healthy and Wealthy and Wise with Lois Kofi. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this answered some of your thoughts. Again, setting healthy boundaries, figuring out what that looks like for you. Like for me, I turn off all my notifications because otherwise I'd have a nervous breakdown, right? And communicating that to others is important because some people think they need to get your attention all the time, and that's up to you how you do that. But I have my boundaries around that. So second was movement, posture, having a stability ball, sitting up tall, working on your core, getting in some exercise, breathing and stopping and smelling the roses, going out for a walk, whatever that looks like for you. And then, of course, giving yourself grace and going out and doing it again tomorrow. So thank you guys so much. Please tune in on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. That is 12 Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, when I interview the Lucas Root. He's pivoted very well on how to work from home with excellence, and you'll learn more about that on Friday. Until then, here's your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, refer a friend, and please drop me a rating or a review. If you do that, I'll reward you with a free 20-minute free coaching session on crafting your journey to your best self. Reach out to me at lois@loiskofi.com to claim your 20-minute slot. Until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.